second video. To complement West stretch, we can also stretch each leg individually. This will give us a slightly different stretch to the muscles, in particular the gastrocnemius, and different muscles to our back, because we're going to turn into the stretch slightly. Actually going to do two poses today, Janu Sirsasana and Paravriti Janu Sirsasana. Don't get hung up on the Sanskrit names, I'm going to explain them all later. The reason I'm doing them is because I learned my yoga first in Quebec, so everything was in French, which I translated into English. So when I got to India and everything is in Sanskrit, it was a real shock. I remember my first Ashtanga lesson and the guy was calling out the Sanskrit names and he was Ardha Baddha Padma Dandasana. And anyway, it was miserable and it really impacted my enjoyment of learning. So for me, I really wish I'd learned the Sanskrit names from the very beginning, and that's my intention here, is to give you the Sanskrit names. I'm going to explain them all, I'm going to put them up on the screen, I'm going to give you the explanation, and it's easier to learn the names once and then you have them. We're going to start with Janu Sirsasana. Janu means knee, Sirsasana means head. Well, Shirsa means head. So it's basically you get your head on your knee, that's it. Might need a strap, and you may need a cushion, so if you want to pause the video and run out and get one. I stole this from my girlfriend. Save me buying anything. You can get them pretty much anywhere. I should really sell them, shouldn't I? At this point I could make a sales pitch and say, oh, I have them on my website and blah blah blah, but no, not that organised. Janu Sirsasana. So what we're going to start with is we're going to put, I'm going to start with my left leg because that's the way the camera's angled. And it's interesting, actually starting with my left leg, because this is going to show up one of the concepts in yoga we call sidedness. Because yoga is balance, and it's not just balance, it's symmetry. The idea is that you're completely symmetrical, and Tadasana, which we're going to do in another video, is going to show you how to hold your body in perfect symmetry and the weight equally on each leg, etc, etc. But the idea of sidedness is that we all have a side that we favour. I'm way more flexible on my right leg than I am on my left leg. So this is a good one to show you to start with, because you can see not getting into the position very far. So anyway, we start off in Dandasana. And we just draw the right leg up and we're going to drop it down. Now this is ideally going to hit the floor, but as I said, I'm not as flexible in my hips as I should be. So I'm just going to place a rolled blanket. You can put a block or a cushion or whatever suits. It's just so that you're not, that leg is not under stress. This leg is relaxed, it's passive in this move. You bring the heel nice and close in, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do two things. We're going to raise our arms up and we're going to twist slightly towards our straight leg. This is the subject leg, this is the leg that's going to get the stretch. So we're going to start with Urdhva Hasta, which we discussed I think before, and actually this is a really important move. This lengthening of the side body and stretching everything up and being equal with it is integral to a lot of poses and every single inversion that you ever do, including your down dog and your forward fold, which are inversions by the way. So Urdhva Hasta, reach up through your pinky finger, aim for the ceiling, and we're going to rotate slightly. This is going to open up the SI joint and some other little muscles in your back and in your butt, deep muscles, and we're just going to fold forward. And that's it, that's the simple move. Stretch up, twist and fold forward. And I can't stress this enough, in every single move in yoga, listen to your body, listen to what it's telling you, and stop if there's any deep pain, any kind of pain. Discomfort, yes, that's the nature of it. We're stretching muscles we're not used to stretching, but pain is an absolute stop. So as we lift and as we twist, you go as far as you can go comfortably. But the ideal is your centre of your sternum lined up with your second toe. Okay, and once you're there, fold forward from the hips as we did with the Paschimottanasana and our forward fold as far as you can go. Once you've got as far as you can go, just drop and grab your toe. As I said, if you don't have that level of flexibility, use a strap, no problem at all, and whatever strap, doesn't matter where you are. The point of what we're feeling is this stretch in the gastrocnemius and our femoris bicep femoris, whichever. So that's the stretch we're trying to achieve in this straight leg, the subject leg. And that's what we want to feel. Now, when we're here, you want to experiment with bringing your big toe back and your pinky toe back, because the gastrocnemius is made up of two sections. There's the lateral and the medial, and they have different attachments at the top of the femur, at the bottom of the femur, sorry. And they're slightly different muscles, so they need different actions to lengthen them. And it's very important that you lengthen both sides. So in any forward stretch, it's also good to grab the outside of the foot and pull that back so you can stretch that lateral edge. And of course the inside, the medial, needs to be done as well. So you're here, you're leaning forward, you feel the stretch, you bring the stretch as far as you can go, just to the edge of discomfort. When you're done, you drop down again, and you can drop with the strap or whatever. Then you'll start to feel the stretch in the latissimus dorsi and your spine extenders. And again, like before, you'll just sit and you're relaxing to the pose. So as I've said, you need to explore the position. You can see me here dicking around, trying to find the stretch, trying to feel where the stretch is happening, what's happening with my body. You can see my back is extremely rounded because I have still have very tight hamstrings there, and I'm working on those. We're going to be doing that in another video soon. But this is where it's intensely personal. You explore this position, you play with it, you stretch, you move, you do whatever feels right in your body, because it's you that feels your body, and it's up to you how you want to move. And out of the position, straighten your back gently first, then either walk or just raise your back up, but just come out very slowly, switch around, straighten your passive leg. And then we go on to the other side. So the other leg, and this is where you'll see a difference in my sidedness, is exactly the same but in reverse. Now the purpose of doing these two legs like this and being very aware of the depth of the position for you personally is that you will have one dominant leg, you will have one leg that's more flexible than the other. So what you need to do in the pursuit of symmetry is to work on that not so good leg a bit more. I spend quite a lot of time on my left leg because I want to get it down to the level where I am with my right leg. But just for the purposes of showing you, the right leg is the same. You're going to bring, and my hip, and I don't have the knee injury, this does actually hit the floor, so I don't have to worry too much. Does mean that I need to work on my hip openers on my right side, which we're going to do in the next video. And here we go. Urdhva Hasta, twist towards the straight leg, and roll ourselves down gently and slowly. And as you'll see, I'm already a lot further into the stretch just naturally without any too much effort. Still need to move this leg, we still need to work on this leg, because eventually I want to be able to get my body flat along the leg, and that's what I'm working towards. So that's it really, just lean forward, play with the position like we did in all of them, explore. When you feel a real tightness is work on that, hover on the edge of the deep discomfort before it becomes pain, relax there, breathe, and eventually that pain will slightly lessen and you can go a little bit deeper into the stretch. And that's the purpose of all of these. You can spend 10-15 minutes on each leg. There's absolutely no limit to this apart from your time and your interest and the level of discomfort that you can stomach. So that's it. That's the Janu Sirsasana. Fairly straightforward, but like all of them, it's going to cause a bit of discomfort. It's difficult to do these moves. Now, I mentioned opening the sacroiliac joint. Now, the truth of the matter is the sacroiliac joint is a ligament. You can actually stretch this. Difference between a tendon and a ligament is a tendon goes from a bone to a muscle, whereas a ligament goes from bone to bone, is to stop the overextension. Think of a strap on a cupboard door, if you like. You can actually you can actually stretch the SI, but you can stretch all the muscles around it that support it, and that's what we do with these moves. There are very many moves. It's hamstrings, quads and hip adductors, plus some other very deep muscles within the pelvis. Then we talked about the gastrocnemius, so I just want to show you what that actually consists of. You can see them here where they sit on your body, and here gives you what we call triceps suria, which is basically two muscles, the gastrocnemius, which is a double-headed muscle, As you can see, it splits laterally and medially, and it joins to the lateral medial spurs of the bottom of the femur, and the deeper muscle, the soleus muscle, which attaches also to the top of the tibia. These three strands come together into a huge tendon, the Achilles tendon, which is actually the thickest tendon in the human body, and that joins onto the calcaneus, the heel bone. So this is just to show you, because when you are exploring that stretch in these two moves that I've given you, this is why you need to move around, why you need to stretch the pinky toe and your big toe, is because there are different strands to this muscle, this triceps suria group of muscles. In this pose, the legs are in the same position, but instead of turning towards the straight leg, we're going to turn away. That means instead of forward flexion, we're going to perform a lateral flexion of the spine. This is going to give a great old stretch to the shoulders, the arms, various muscles of the back, and we're passively lengthening those same muscles at the back of the leg. The shoulder joint, the glenohumeral, can be the cause of a great deal of discomfort and is prone to injury. Opening up with this stretch can help relieve various aches and pains and can help avoid injury from other sports. This will also engage various back muscles such as the latissimus dorsi, which are not often activated. So this can go some way to alleviating backache. In particular, this move is a really strong stretch to the quadratus lumborum, which is the deepest muscle of our abdominal group. Again, not often stretched in our sedentary lifestyle, but this muscle supports good posture and helps stabilize the spine, so really important. Now you can see from the other side, so you can see what's going on in the back there. And again, nice and slow, get into the position, feel your body, don't push, never stretch, never move quickly, because these positions are very unusual for us in our normal lifestyle, so we have to take it nice and easy. In addition to lengthening all of these muscles, this posture is going to help with our Urdhva Hasta, the arms up pose that I mentioned earlier, so it's very useful. So that was a quick overview. The video didn't really convey the idea that you can stay in this pose as long as you wish. There are a long list of benefits to it. As with all yoga, only go as far as you can go slowly to avoid injury, and listen to your body. Now you can see that I am far from graceful and cannot achieve the full pose as you see in the book. I'm living proof that it doesn't matter what you look like or what level you are at. Everyone, barring major injuries, can benefit from yoga. Indeed, all movement is good. We evolved to move, and none of us, apart from professional athletes, move as much as we should. This slower style of yoga is going to open up the body and help with proper functioning of the organs. I want to credit this excellent book that I used to supplement my training, Yoga Anatomy by Leslie Kaminoff and Amy Matthews. This is my first stop for all things anatomy. The more I read, the more I am amazed by the incredible insights the progenitors of this ancient art must have had. It's also very useful to know exactly what you're doing when a stretch, well, for me anyway. My next video will be on Baddha Konasana, and the one after will be on Upavishta Konasana. After that, I'll be doing a sun salutation, Harry style. The progression of these videos is following a particular plan, and I will be talking more about that in these upcoming videos. So that's it. If you have any comments, please leave them below. If you would like me to cover a particular pose or sequence, also let me know. I will be doing other videos, but it would also be nice to cover subjects that interest you.